very prestigious arena to listen to my dick and shit jokes over the next 90 minutes. Now, I'm excited to be here. I am. It's very exciting to be doing stand-up outside of my own country. Yeah, no, not because of you. That's how it's become. Fucking US, everything's so goddamn every fucking joke you tell. Well, what did you mean about that? I didn't go to the gym today. Are you calling me fat? I feel fucking triggered. Gotta fucking apologize to everybody. This is how screwed up my country is right now. Do you know Bryan Cranston, right? That dude did a movie. He played a quadriplegic, and people gave him shit. Being like, why is there an able-bodied person playing a quadriplegic? It's because it's called acting, you dumb fuck. See, if he was a quadriplegic playing a quadriplegic, that's not acting. That's just fucking laying there saying shit that someone else wrote. So tell us, what did you do to prepare for the role? Well, I dove headfirst into the shallow end of a pool when I was 23. I feel like I've been preparing for this role for my whole life. Right, what is up next for you? Well, they're gonna do a reboot of Top Gun. I'm gonna fly it with my prop. And the co-pilot's gonna be transgendered. So everybody will be happy. She won't die. Her discarded dick will block her head from the canopy. There'll be a gender-neutral bathroom on the plane. How fucking dumb is that? That's literally like watching a movie. Why didn't you have a murderer play a murderer? And how come the guy he shot, I saw him in another movie? I mean, what the fuck is going on? No, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But I think white women started it. Worse. It's all they do is bitch, moan, and complain. I had no idea how difficult it was to be a white woman in the United States of America. Evidently, it's really difficult. Yeah, they're always bitching. Do you have any idea what it's like to be me? Well, I imagine it would be slightly less awesome than my life. What happened to you today, sweetheart, huh? Did they not chill your rosé? You know? Was the trolley not running down at the mall? What happened? No, it's unreal. I'm really fucking annoyed how white women have the fucking balls to throw my white privilege in my face, you know? Sort of separate themselves from these white males with their white male privilege. It's like, bitch, you're sitting in the jacuzzi with me. The fuck are you talking about? Yeah, quit your fucking whining. Look, here's a little caveat here, so you don't think I'm a complete asshole right out of the gate. All right, if you live in some honey boo boo lifestyle on the Appalachian Trail, you know, your uncle just banged you in the dirt. All right, I can listen to you. Now, one of my fantasies is I want to drive by like a woman's rally and just say the most sexist shit I can think of, just to watch them lose their minds. And I'll just drive by real slow and be like, yeah, why don't you get back in the kitchen where you belong? Just to look in the rearview mirror, watching them flipping out on the road, spinning around like Leatherface at the end of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like... Yeah, no, it's a very, I don't know, times are changing, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, Michelle Obama's doing an arena tour. That's another thing going on. I'm gonna say that again. Michelle Obama is doing an arena tour. She's not playing comedy clubs. She's doing arenas. When did first ladies start acting like they got elected? You know? Dude, being a first lady, that's not a fucking job. Just standing there smiling and waving. Right? Look how quiet is it in here. Why is it so fucking quiet? You think that's a job? It's not a fucking job. Dude, if you really think it's a job, just look at him. Right? Look at Obama. When that guy got elected, he looked like he was about 41 years old. When he left office, that guy looked like he was about 73. Right? Look at Michelle. She looks younger now than she did when that dude got elected. What has she done for the last 8 years? Yeah, other than lay in a giant vat of Illuminati-level lotion, just sitting there floating. A couple hours, a shapeshifter comes in and dumps another bucket on her. She pops her head up. Hey, Bam Bam, tell Stevie Wonder to come down and play some songs tonight. Now, I found out she's doing a tour because she's doing a book tour. Yeah, she wrote a book. She wrote a book about not having a job. I gotta read that fucking book. Chapter 1, how to know if a dick tastes presidential. How to weed your way through all that local representative cock and get to the big swinging dick in the room. I'll tell you right now, say what you want about Republican presidents, but they got their first ladies in line. They do. Dude, George W. was president for 8 years. 8 years. I don't even know his wife's name. What was it, Abigail or some shit? Maggie? No clue. Donald Trump's wife stands behind him like a giant meerkat, like... Bill Clinton was president, his wife never shut up. I want to do healthcare. He fucked around on her so much, he's like, all right, whatever, just do it. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna check out that fucking tour. I gotta see what that's all about. You know? Who opens? Who opens on that fucking tour? Was it Oprah Winfrey's husband? You know? Does he fucking come out and talk about what it's like to walk her dogs? I do it for 20 minutes a day. The Cocker Spaniel's probably the most fussiest, and I gotta bring him around. Look, I'm sure that there's some feminists in the crowd right now not appreciating this joke, feeling triggered, feeling like they need to fucking put out a hashtag or some shit and be brave and speak out. You know what? You're full of shit.
He's actually not only one of the funniest comics working today, his name is really fun to say. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Burr!
Thank you. How are you? How's it going? Still got some life in you? Awesome. I can't wait for these elections to be over. You know? It's like enough already. Just fucking pick somebody. How many more goddamn debates are gonna be, right? 1,000 points of light, health insurance trickling down, everybody gets applesauce. Doesn't matter. I want to find an honest guy. You know what I mean? Some guy's just gonna get on TV and be like, look, in order for this whole thing to work, at least 2/3 of you need to just go to the beach and walk into the ocean. There's only so much chicken and fresh water left. If you're not in that upper third, just be honest with yourselves. You know, they should have auditions. Whatever you do, you gotta audition to still be here, right? You're a plumber, fix that sink better than 70% of the other fuckers. That's it. Put some wrenches in your pocket, go to the beach, and out you go. Yeah, straight across the board. Dentists, comedians, I'd do it. I'd stand in a line with a bunch of clowns, right? Tumblers and shit. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't. No, I take comfort in knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44, I'm not married, I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person taking up space, walking into a Starbucks. Oh, Sheryl Crow CD. Right? Why am I here? I have a horrible science background. Do you know cruise ships blow my mind? Blow my mind. I don't get how something that big and metal can float. I don't get it. Makes no sense. And there's always some nerd there to try to explain it. Well, the area times the mass. Oh, fuck you with your magic. I don't get it. It's got a smokestack. It's got an anchor. Right? Dude, explain the pool. How can you have a pool on a boat? You dug a hole in the boat, filled it with water, you got fat people going in it. That's game, set, and match. Speaking of nerds, when is the nerd epidemic just gonna end? Like, when is the nerd bubble just gonna burst? They're fucking everywhere. Every show, they got some guy with black frame glasses. Oh, I'm kind of awkward. I don't know how to talk to the opposite sex. Like, this is supposed to, like, inspire me? You know, when I was a kid, nerds had shame. They had shame. They had horrible days at school. They were stuffed in lockers, left there overnight reading whatever they could find. Then in the mornings, janitor let them out, and then they got the shit kicked out of them for wearing the same stuff 2 days in a row. Now they're walking around all proud, double pocket protectors, black socks yanked up. This is what happens when you get rid of bullying. It is. When you get rid of a species' natural predator, it just grows exponentially. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. Well, there's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it! Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirts, limping into the arena, right? Does Steve Jobs go out with a whole chorus line of scientists? No, he goes out there by himself. Sneakers and no belt, like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy. This is what all the silence is about. New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. What, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
You can't do that. You gotta be nice. You gotta be fucking nice, especially this day and age, man. Everybody getting in trouble. All these goddamn groups out there, bitch moaning and complaining. Anytime anybody says anything, we're kind of a group. You gotta apologize. I'm sorry to people who own Sharpies. I didn't mean to say that it's an ugly-ass dog. Right? You know what? Fuck you and your group. What about that? What do you got, like 2 million people in your group? There's 400 million in this country. Nobody gives a shit. Right? Who the fuck joins a group? I'm gonna join a group. That's what I'm gonna do today. Go to meetings. Kind of a fucking loser. Right? That's the same way I look at people laugh who got upset about, Michael Sam, the gay football player, kissing his boyfriend when he got drafted. Everybody bitch moaning and complaining. It's like, dude, you know what? That's what you get for watching the draft. All right? Once again, what kind of a fucking loser just sits there watching round after round? The Jets are up next. I think they need a cornerback. And they need to improve the defensive line. Dude, that's like going to a graduation ceremony where you don't know anybody who's graduating. It's just fucking sitting there. They're gonna have the whole list the next day. They'll have everybody who drafted, who, when. Fucking gotta sit there and watch that shit. Those stupid interviews. Hey, you're a member of the Buffalo Bills. How does it feel?
Well, it's a blessing. I want to thank God. I'm going to try to do my best. It's a great organization. And same shit the last 80 guys said. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad he kissed him. He should have fucking blown him. Yeah. With birthday cake in his mouth and a Santa Claus hat on his head. Just to ruin the entire year. Holding a flag. That fucks up Flag Day. You'll keep thinking about it. Yeah. Fucking stupid-ass groups. People apologizing to them like they have some sort of power. Look, if you're being a dick, apologize. But other than that, yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Everybody getting in trouble. Like a bunch of children. I was doing a gig in Dallas and some waitress wrote on a piece of chalkboard. She goes, "We like our beer the way we like our violence. Domestic." Right? Yeah, I gotta tell you something. That's a great fucking joke. There is zero fat on that. You need every word of that joke. You take one word out, it doesn't work. It's a perfect joke. So whatever, nobody gives a shit. One person comes in, they don't like it. They ask the manager to take it down. He's just like, hey, that's our sense of humor here. Have a beer, go fuck yourself. That's what we're doing. So she takes a picture of it, she puts it up on Facebook, and all of a sudden people start complaining, and they fired the manager and the waitress because of that. Yeah. I don't understand. Like, what do they think's gonna happen if somebody reads that joke? Like, you're some guy who would never hit a woman, you know? Would never hit a woman. You can't hit women. You can't. You honestly cannot. You ever see how they fall? They fall like toddlers, you know? It's like they never fell in their life. They never put their hands out. It's horrific to watch. You can't hit them, right? So what are you telling me? You're telling me someone who never hit a woman is gonna come walking in, read that joke, you know, just be like, wait a minute. This is the dumbest shit. Dude, they have all kinds of signs out there telling people not to hit women. People still do it. What do you think wife beaters are doing when they drive home? They're like so focused on hitting their wife, then they got blinders on, they're not reading anything. They don't see that don't hit your wife. Billboard, they're still gonna do it. Did that get too weird for you guys? Did the church organs make that fucked up like I was up here? Make a pledge for Jesus and hit your women. Ever watch some of those stupid religious shows? That fucking Joel Osteen, you ever see that guy? Dude, that guy is so full of shit, he doesn't even open his eyes when he's talking. He's just like, make a pledge for Jesus. Are they still here? He doesn't even have the nerve to open his eyes. You want some popsicles? Jesus wants you to have some popsicles. He wants you to have those popsicles. Fucking electric blue carpet. So yeah, everybody's getting in trouble because these goddamn groups. Look at the amount of old people that got in trouble this year. Old people get in trouble. Right? That older woman there that makes the cookies on the Food Network. Right? Yeah, Paula Deen, she got in trouble because she had the slavery-themed wedding or whatever the hell she did. You know? In defense of her, you know, you want to have an original wedding. There's not a lot of themes left, you know? You got to use the old imagination if you're going to try to blow people away with your creativity, right? I'm actually going to have a Holocaust-themed pool party later on this summer. I am. And everyone gets in the pool, yeah? It was weird. It was like, it was offensive, but like refreshing. You know, I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah, she got in trouble. The old redneck on Duck Dynasty, that dude got in trouble. The owner of the Clippers got in trouble. And I'm not saying what these people did wasn't offensive. I'm not saying that shit. What pissed me off was at no point during all of these stories did anybody address their age. You know? They're fucking old. You know? What did you think they thought? You never talked to a grandparent and asked the wrong question and all of a sudden it went down this crazy road like, whoa. Let's get back to the cookies, Grandma. Let's leave that shit over here. What the fuck? Yeah, they're old. What did you think they thought? I mean, I gotta be honest with you too. People were too hard on that Clippers guy, man. I'm telling you. For an 80-year-old white guy, that wasn't that bad. All right? That's true, though. Life can pass you by. It happens. You know, you just keep living and living and living. You know what it is? I think you got like 25, 30 years to absorb as much as you can. And then that's it. That's all you know. Because right around then, you get married. And it's over. Right? You have a couple of kids. You're sucked in the bubble. You don't have time to pay attention to what's going on in the world. You're just stuck with these kids. It's shitting all over the place. Don't be a serial killer. Don't touch that. You're just stuck in that. You have 3, 4 kids. That is a 25-year sentence. Trying to get them all through college. Society just keeps fucking going. You get the last one through college, you step back out of the bubble, just... You don't know what happened. You're not even paying attention. You go back to your old record collection. Right? Someone sticks a mic in your face, you're gonna get in trouble. Yeah. It's one of the sad things about life. You get old and it passes you by. I feel it passing me by. I'm 46 years old. I don't even have kids, but I can't keep up anymore. Like I had a college kid coming up and I was like, man, I I got to figure out what these kids are into, man. I was 24 when a senior was born. I got to figure out what these dudes are into. So I guess they were into like this like DJ music or some shit. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch some of this, you know? So I have like a reference or two. I don't want to be that old comic coming to the gig being like, what's up with this Monica Lewinsky? Is this crazy? I mean, this Y2K. I mean, is my stylist going to work? So I put this shit on. Dude, I lasted 90 seconds. 90 seconds. I was open-minded. All right, put it on. 90 seconds later, I'm like this old man. This isn't music. Now, when I was a kid, you dressed like a woman and you sung about the devil. Now that was music. And you had one ballad every album. Started off in black and white, and when the guitar solo came in, it went to color. That was music. Yeah. All of this shit's passing me by. I'll get in trouble later on in my life. Transgender athletes, I don't fucking understand that, you know? I understand it if, you want to switch around. I don't give a shit. But I'm a sports fan. That's a really new concept to me, that you can be a dude, right? Ranked 80th in the fucking world. You have your dick cut off, you put on a sports bra, and now you're the #1 tennis player in the world, just coming out there with your man shoulders. That doesn't seem fair. I might be wrong. I might just be an old guy. I have no idea. But I'm hearing rumors like some of them are getting into that MMA. You can't have that shit. Am I nuts? That is a dickless dude beating the shit out of a woman. Jesus Christ. He might as well hit her with his discarded dick like a flashlight. Hold still. No, it's grounded. Her grounded pound is incredible. Yeah. I'm not saying these people are right, and I'm not saying that I'm right. I know I'm a fucking moron, you know? But that Duck Dynasty guy, I know what he said was wrong, but I don't get the shock. He said that homophobic stuff, and people are like, can you believe? Yeah, I totally can believe it. If I was in Vegas, I would have put 90% of my shit on that he was going to say it. I'd give him a 10% benefit of the doubt, just in case. Are you seriously shocked? Some redneck with a beard down to his dick, sitting in a boat in the middle of a swamp, shooting varmints. Like, what did you think he thought? Did you think he had like some progressive ideas on same-sex marriage? Yeah. Didn't he think exactly what you thought? He thought, you know? You know what kills me too? That fucking kind of shit, that homophobic stuff, that all comes from the church, man. Doesn't that come from that shit? Well, there's something in there. I never read the book, all right? I tried to. They need to fucking update it, all right? They update iTunes every fucking 6 days. Can we update the language and make it a little more user-friendly for someone like me, right? No, that's where he gets all those fucking ideas. That Duck Dynasty guy, it's not his fault that he went to, he went to Sunday school in like 1949, you know? I think all of that shit comes from the church. They just fucking brainwash you. You know? Don't clap. I don't read. Follow someone else. I'm telling you. They brainwash you. Come into the church, your brain's all empty. They just fill it up like a jelly donut. Just brainwash you. Say what we say when we say it. Say it again, then you can go home to your toys. All right, I'll say it. I'll say it again. Now can I go home to my toys? Right? And you repeat everything they say. The good, the bad, and the fucking horrific. They stick a star in your forehead. You're a big boy. The big people like me. You get on with your life. You go to college. You get a master's degree in English like this redneck dude had. He invents the new duck whistle, or whatever the hell you call it. Right? Yours goes whack, whack. Mine goes whack, a fucking whack. Dude makes $1 zillion bucks, gets his own TV show, he's loving life, and out of nowhere, here comes that same question 60 years later from Sunday school, and he stands up like the Manchurian Candidate. Jesus likes hookers and lepers, doesn't like the queers. And everybody freaks the fuck out. And he's like, oh, that's what they said, and they're all dead. Oh, where'd everybody go? I thought I was a good boy. And you're just this scared old man getting yelled at in a boat. I don't understand why a group like GLAAD, all right? I always forget, it's gay, lesbian, whatever the fuck it stands for, all right? Why do they go after the old guy in the boat? Why don't they go after the people writing the book, all right? Go, hey, could you please tear it out of, those couple of pages, right? They're not gonna do that. That's the Vatican. They're their own city. They got a wall around their own city. They're brushing off cases of pedophilia like it's nothing. They're not taking their call. Oh, what happened? Really? Go fuck yourself. Click. They don't care. No, I learned a long time ago. Like, I think it's whatever you're into. But I don't know. I'm not into that religious stuff where. And this is why I actually walked away from my religion. I had to be honest with myself. Yeah, it's kind of hard to take your dick out at work when you're at home. You know, some people still manage to do it. They're ordering some call, no pants on. All of a sudden, standing up, their junk right in the screen. Still figured out a way to get fired. It was unreal. It's kind of good, though, that, those creeps got to take a break, because I felt like cancel culture, they were kind of running out of people to cancel, As much as they wanted to make it seem, there really was a finite amount of people that took their dick out at work. Despite the stats, right? Every 1.6 seconds, somebody takes their dick out and shakes it in a woman's face in a cubicle. You're like, what? Every 1.6 seconds? I must not have been paying attention. Every 3.2 seconds, some man jizzes on a bird and rubs it in a woman's face. Holy shit. I didn't know that happened, right? Yeah, so fortunately, they rounded up all of these fucking animals and they got rid of them, right? But it kind of became like this cottage industry, and it was a way to kind of get rid of some men that maybe were in your way, It's like anything. It always, the initial thing, you agree with it, and then it kind of gets out of control. So, I don't know. They kind of ran out of people, and there was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel, dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid-ass woke white people, right? Oh, my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of fucking white people, all up in arms, about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years, John Wayne, saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people. Fucking idiots. What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? If you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking say that. Fucking woke. I'm fucking woke. I'm a woke signaler. I fucking had it. I've had it. I support black people in my white apartment on Twitter. That's what I do. I'm fucking here for you. Every white person likes to lie to themselves that they were alive, 150 years ago, that they would have been working on the Underground Railroad, trying to help slaves escape, right? I would have been one of the good white people. I would have taken time out of my day, risked my life. And the reality is you'd be doing back then exactly what you're doing today. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Maybe a little hashtag, Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, my heart breaks on my L-shaped couch. My favorite thing about the Black Lives Matter marches was the store windows that would have the plywood over the windows, and then it would say Black Lives Matter on top of the plywood. I just love the duality of that message, you know? It's like, Black Lives Matter, we're all the same, we're all one. Don't burn down my store, you fucking animals. Everybody is welcome in this store. Anyone can come in, one at a time, follow him. It's just a safe space for everyone. Yeah. John Wayne was born in 1907. That's what the fuck he's gonna sound like. Then you got all these douchebags going like, that's not an excuse. It's like, yes it is. It absolutely is. You are of your time. Look at these young kids. Remember that for like a year and a half? They'd take a water bottle. They're all standing around, and one kid would flip it, and if it landed upright, they'd lose. Oh! 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 Oh, shit! They just lose their fucking minds. Oh! I didn't understand it, but I'm born in 1968, so I'm just like, all right, well, no one tried to slap it out of the way, you know? You do it enough times, it's gonna fucking land upright. What is happening here, right? I didn't want to ruin their good time, you know? They were excited, they're gonna get on their scooters and ride off. Like a little posse or some shit. I'm like, all right, you can do that. Yeah. So that was like a thing for like half a second. Sean Connery died, the great Sean Connery. Yeah, my favorite James Bond of all time. Yeah, and he was getting a proper send-off for about 8 minutes on Twitter, and then the first hairy-legged white chick shows up, right? And she's just got to be like, yeah, yeah. Are we really going to celebrate this man who advocated the hitting of women? It's like, first of all, he didn't advocate hitting women, okay? He just said, you know, every once in a while, you give him a little slap. Yeah, give him a little back of the hand. You remind them who's making the box office. You reset their hard drive. That's all he said, okay? Yes, it's a crazy statement in 2021. 1976, you know, it's not good, but it's not crazy. Right? And he's born in 1930. You gotta put the shit in historical perspective. You ever watch, I love old movies. You ever watch movies from the 30s, 40s, and 50s? Yeah. Anytime a woman even has heightened emotion, there's some guy like, get a hold of yourself, see? Yeah, go make me a pie, put it on the windowsill. Right? That's what he grew up watching. I grew up in the 70s. I thought being a truck driver was a cool thing. You know, you had a monkey for a friend. You're going around, chicks showing their titties. I thought that was the world. I had no idea. That's what I was watching. My thing is okay, so if you're going to cancel all of these fucking dead guys, and you're going to shit all over them after they're dead and they can't defend themselves, why are you only going after men? You know, what about all the horrible women in history? You can't just go after the men. That would be sexist. And this is what they don't want. You know? I mean, what about Coco Chanel? Great example. Coco Chanel, widely considered a feminist icon. She started her own purse factory, right? The 19-teens or 20s, whatever the hell she did. I can't imagine the sexism that she had to deal with, you know? It's an amazing accomplishment. Hats off to her, right? However, she was also a Nazi sympathizer. Yeah, that's like half her fucking Wikipedia page. Just sitting there, waiting for someone to read it. Right out in the open, nothing.
I don't know. I'm good at this. I fuck up my personal life all the time now. I really do. You know, I'm afraid to get married, man. Why man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point? You know, look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. Right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's gonna get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. You know, can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. Somebody, go ahead. Somebody, explain, justify it. Justify it. What, he cheated on her? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. He cheated on her. Great, the relationship's over right then. Kobe cheated, right? Shouldn't that relationship been over right then? Why did she hang around like some jaded cop for 3 years trying to get a fucking pension, right? Get that 10 years in? I don't know, maybe that's too harsh. That shit bothers me, man. Dude, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country. And every night I put on the news, and I'm waiting for someone to address it. Every night, never see it, you know? And every night I bring up gold-digging whores, and the whole crowd pulls back like I'm up here talking about Bigfoot, right? Like I'm saying the moon's made out of cheese or something. Talking about whores, people. They're everywhere. How many? How many more great men are going to get chopped in half before we do something? Why is it so quiet in here? God damn, I don't get it. What is it? Is it women? Do you think I'm calling you? I'm not calling any woman here a whore, okay? So don't pull back. That's not fair, okay? If you brought up wife beaters, I wouldn't like pull back. I get it. There's guys hitting women, they need to be stopped. We gotta understand that gold-digging whores are the wife beaters for men. Yeah, they are. Except we don't have that Rihanna lumped up photo in the end, so it's not obvious. It's in the eyes. It's in the lines in your face. It's in Mel Gibson's high-pitched voice on the answering machine. I had to give up my Laker tickets, right? That is the sound of a man being taken for everything he's got. I gotta tell you, I'm envious of women, okay? I'm not saying your problems get solved, but at least they're taken seriously. You know? People, you got 1-800 numbers, you got ribbons, there's groups. People give a shit. Anything happens to a guy, it's just considered funny. Some woman cut her husband's dick off, threw it in the garbage disposal, and turned it on. People thought it was hilarious. They were, hey, Stumpy, nobody cares. You think if a guy removed a woman's titty and threw it in the dryer, anybody would be joking about it the next day? The entire country would grind to a halt. There'd be a moment of silence. The NFL would have some special colored headband everybody had to wear for an entire month. The most effeminate color they could possibly come up with. All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man. Another great man. Taken down by that gold-digging whore of a maid he's got. And I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for doing what he did. It was a piece of shit move. But how come only he got chastised? What about the maid? Why was she called the maid that entire story? She was never called a whore, ever. Just boggled my mind. She knew his wife, first name basis, played with their kids, fucked her husband in their own goddamn bed. That's right down the checklist. First ballot Hall of Fame whore. Right there. Never. Why do you think she hooked up with him? Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking? The giant space between his teeth I could put this mic cord through? Or do you think maybe it's all that kindergarten cop money laying around the goddamn bedroom? No, it's awful. It's a horrific thing to see as a guy, watching guys go through that shit, you know? And then there's no sort of examination of it. They just go, he's an idiot. Hey, he's stupid. That guy's stupid. If that guy's stupid, what the fuck am I, right? Does it even make sense? Why would you do that? Why would you accomplish all that and then fuck it up, hooking up with one of the ugliest human beings I've ever seen in my life? Not saying I'm a prize, I'm just saying, you know? There's gotta be something beyond that, right? You know what I think it is? I think it comes down to the way he talks, you know? That dude should be unloading trucks in Transylvania. That should have been the height of his success. But because he's a great man, he had the balls to move to America. Became famous for lifting weights. I lift weights, nobody gives a shit. He lifts weights, becomes super famous. Did he rest on his laurels? No. Next challenge. I'm gonna become an actor despite the fact that nobody can really understand me. Against all odds, he starts making movies. Get down, there's a bomb, get out of there. Becomes one of the biggest blockbuster stars of all time. What are you gonna do next, Arnie? I think I'll marry a Kennedy. There's no fucking way you can do that. Bam, he does it. Cherry on top, I'm running for governor of a state I can't even pronounce, and he wins the election. Why wouldn't this guy think he couldn't bang his maid in his own bed and get away with it? This dude has been in the zone for over 4 decades. 4 decades, nothing but neck. Bang a maid in my own bed? Dude, that's a layup. Are you serious? I had a hit movie with a midget. I don't even need a condom. Right? And then what happens? The smoke clears. Then all these trolls come out of the woodwork and start judging this great man. All these fatties, these fucking old guys who never got any with their jowls coming on TV. Absolutely reprehensible behavior. What kind of a public servant? His legacy is shrouded. Like they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level, right? Like they have groupies as they waddle out to their Mercury Tracer parked on the other side of a dumpster. Really? You're beating them off? This guy, he's not a great man anymore? Terminator doesn't count? Is that what the fuck you're telling me? Because he fucked Alice? Really? He's still not a great man because he did that. Then the whole thing's over? Anybody here think they could move to Austria, learn the language, become famous for working out, then be a movie star, then marry into their royalty and hold public office? How many lifetimes would you need? I'm on my 3rd attempt at Rosetta Stone Spanish, right? How can I judge these guys? I can barely handle the temptations of Facebook. I'm going to judge Tiger Woods. I golf. I don't walk off the 18th hole and there's a busload of Scandinavian women waiting to fuck my brains out. Sorry, ladies, gotta go home to the wife, right? No, it kills me. And there's no help out there for guys. There isn't. There's nothing out there to help you handle becoming rich and famous. There's nothing to prepare you for that platoon of whores that's going to form on the horizon, right? Like Braveheart, faces painted, skirts on, will run down the hill, they'll jump on your dick in front of your wife. They don't give a shit. It's not even a handbook out there. I saw one article written about it on the cover of Time magazine. It said, why do so many rich, famous, and powerful men act like absolute pigs, right? And the article was actually written by a woman. That's like me writing a book, The 3rd Trimester, and What to Expect. Ladies, you're gonna feel a pressure. How the hell would I know? You don't want to hear that from me, right? Then why is this woman telling me what it's like to have a dick? That makes no sense. You have no idea what it's like to have a dick. 24/7. Do it, fuck it, do it. That's what it's saying. Do it. Yeah, do it. That's how we survived as a species. Every man in here is programmed to fuck 85% of the women in this room. Right? Yeah, we are. Do it, fuck it, do it, you know? It's just that you won't. That's the only reason why we don't, you know? That's not you keeping your dick in check, you know? Some guy at Home Depot working there, he wants to fuck just as many women as a celebrity, right? But he can't do it because whores don't care about lumber, right? But the second he hits the fucking lottery, all of a sudden, you know that, do it, fuck it, do it, you know? That wasn't affecting his life. Then all of a sudden these whores show up. I'll do it, I'll suck it, I'll do it, right? No, somebody's got to step up, all right? I'm not even blaming whores, really. Just guys, we're fucking idiots. What are we doing? Why are we working so hard and then giving it all away to some chick who did 3 shifts at a fucking Hooters, you know? They're fucking bums. Sitting there with fucking Dorito dust in their cleavage, walking around with hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sick of that shit. That's what the law says. 100 years ago, I could beat you with a fucking mop handle. I'd be like, well, that's what the law says. Doesn't make us right. No, it's unreal. And all this shit's going down, and we're not doing anything. What are we doing? Same old shit. Sitting around watching Shark Week, right? Watching shit about poisonous snakes half a world away, just filling your head up with all this useless information. What to do if you come face to face with a Bengal tiger? Don't look at it, don't look away. Slowly back up as you push your friend forward, right? All this useless information, yet hanging between your legs is this thing that could crumble your entire empire 7 minutes or less. Don't know a fucking thing about it. Even worse, you think it's your friend. Yeah, you know why? Because your dick's like a dreamer. You know? Your dick believes. It's like a motivational speaker. I don't give a shit what question you ask it. It's always like, yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a plan. Exit strategy. Later. We'll be fine. Where's your dick when you get caught, right? Then it's just slumped over like, hey, I thought it was a good idea. Yeah. You have to know that. Dude, if your dick was a third base coach, it wouldn't hold anybody up. It'd just be fucking waving people around. Everybody, go in standing up. You got it. Oh, shit, here she comes. Slide. All right, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope you had as good a time as I did. Thank you.
It's worse than that for people. Everyone's got an iPhone, you know?
Hey, look. No, I can't say that. I was going to say he's gone. They still came out with another one, right? That's true, right? Oh, look, when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, could Eddie not play guitar anymore? You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's a good analogy. What makes you feel old about watching TV?
Music, there's no guitar solos anymore. And then for some reason, with all this technology, millennials, if you take a full water bottle and you flip it in the air and it lands upright, They run out of the room like they just saw a witch. And I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere, they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden, everybody stands up. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy.
What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so, you know.
Here he's go, Conan's going for it!
I would say 13% of people on the internet are cool. The rest of them, they're just a bunch of animals. Why would you want to talk to them?
Wait, you're saying only 13% of people are
cool. 13% are cool. The other 87% are writing horrific stuff under YouTube videos. They're assholes.
Yeah.
Women are so overrated, right? We went from we went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
You're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. The people go on Ancestry.com. Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? I was making fun of the military, which you can't do now. Like, we totally went from Vietnam, all the hippies being like, hey, man, you're like a baby killer, man, to like now you got to give like a standing ovation when they walk over to Delta. You know what I mean? Show that you're not in ISIS. Like, I don't know what you have to be doing. Like, thank you. It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did you really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that, points in the direction that the plane takes off in...
So does your wife watch any of these games with you? Does she?
No, she has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Now they're going after 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the whores? Right?
What?
Why are you looking at me like you don't know what whores are?
Divorce. Oh, divorce. I thought you said the horse.
No, I said whores. You're both wrong. I said whores.
Oh, whores. Whores. Wait a minute. Andy and I, this has never happened before where you and I both misunderstand.
Yeah. That's what killed me when Bruce became Caitlyn. That was like a national news story, at a ridiculous level. He should have given us a chance to say goodbye. I watched him on the Olympics. I watched him on Chips. I watched him on that horrible show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. That's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they have slowly taken over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with a pizza and a drink, that's not holding, and just be and enjoy ourselves. And then also, you can't
tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you...
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at him groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball, and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose. Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman in an undersexed marriage after a couple of drinks. I'm telling you, cover your junk, because she's coming full court press. You're having a full-on breakdown. I am not. You're just not listening.
I am listening to every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show. But she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got... And then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Are you getting into the holiday spirit? We're getting close. Christmas coming up. Get excited? Come on.
Yes, I am. I actually like the holidays, and Thanksgiving is my favorite because you just get to eat and that type of thing. But I don't know. I don't like that Black Friday type of stuff. It just freaks me out. Makes me sad for Americans watching them getting trampled. You know?
Yeah. You don't like
why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself? Why wouldn't you just admit that you can't afford it at regular prices? Come back the next day. Come back the next day like a gentleman. Just walk in there, pick out what you want, and if your kids get less, they get less. That gives them drive. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So yeah, you don't get trampled grabbing your wig, you know. The suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above-ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart worth getting trampled over. There's nothing. It's processed meat. Processed meat, clothes, all of it. You're gonna get trampled. Like, make it like a high-end store. Like, you're going to, I don't even know where. There's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks.
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got?
I don't know.
They got trampled.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're going to go there, you don't want to be at the front of the line. You want to be about 40 deep. And I figure you pop out of the line and you wait till that first wave or two falls down. And then you go over the top like Walter Payton back in the day. Roll out of it. But even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out at these. It's the saddest thing. It's 1 year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, you should just like float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. Like, no matter how many hot air balloons he had.
No, it's a bad idea. You don't want billionaires in hot air balloons dropping toasters on people. That's just a stupid idea.
You have like a little parachute. All right, gift certificates.
I don't know. I gotta get my act together, man. I'm really at a critical point in my life, you know? I am. I'm serious. I'm a fucking psycho, man. I realize this about myself. Like, you know, I'm not married, you know? And I'm really getting to that critical age where, you know, pretty soon I'm just, you know, I gotta pick a street. Either I'm gonna get married, you know, or I'm just gonna be in that creepy old guy hanging out in a bar, you know, red chest hair hanging out. No, seriously, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just, I think I just stayed single too long, man. It's just brutal. There's a critical point when you stay single too long, and when your brain switches from, you know, like, you know, don't say that to her. Fuck it, say it. See what happens. Dude, and once you cross that line, this the evil that just opens up. It's just, you know. I don't know, you know what? I just find women that just like, I think they're great. I don't want this to come off like, I don't want to come off here like I'm some woman hater, because, you know, I know I'm a psycho, but it's just like, I don't know, I just find them to be like relentless. Just every day, they just got to come at you. They just wake up, they have an agenda, and they're like these psycho robots that never run out of batteries, and every day they just keep fucking, just keep coming at you, right? You got to deal with that every single day. Hey, honey, you want this shit? And you literally, you know, every day, it's like waves hitting the beach, you know? Every day, just eroding a little more your life away, you know? Just waking up inch by inch, and every day just... Why are you hanging out with him? He drinks too much. Where'd you buy that? That's ugly. Throw it out. So one day you're just hanging out in the middle of a lagoon, just floating there with your baseball cards. You're waving to your friends back on the shore. Dude, get me tickets. I still like sports. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Hey, honey, how you doing? No, I'm trying to learn how to pick my battles with my girl, you know? That's what I am, you know? I used to argue all the time. I'm just trying to pick the battles. Some days, they come at you. You just gotta let them go. You just let them go and follow them to whatever dumb shit they want to do. Like, hey, let's get a picnic. We'll have a picnic. You bring the good thing and you fucking... Then other days, you just gotta get your hand up. You just gotta... Just create this perimeter, something for them to bounce off, like, you just send that psycho energy in another direction. Buy yourself a couple of hours for freedom before they bounce off something else. They start coming back. Go see my parents. No, they're relentless. They never stop. And there's no reason for them to stop. You know why? Because you can't hit them. That's what it is. Think about that. There's no physical ramifications for being an asshole when you're a woman. Do you know how much of a dick I would be if it was socially unacceptable to kick the shit out of me? Dude, I would be trashing everybody I saw. See some big muscle-bound guy, hey, I go to the fucking gym. Slap his protein shake out and say, hey, go fuck yourself, right? But I can't do that, right? Every guy has a line, and if I cross the line, I get blasted in the face. Totally acceptable, right? But with women, there's no line. They can just keep fucking, just keep coming at you. Dude, they can do stuff worthy of like a suplex, and they'll just stand right next to it. They don't even have the decency to run away. They'll like light your clothes on fire. They're like, ta-da, I did that shit. Oh yeah. And I was so proud of my work, I stuck around to see your reaction. I invited a couple of friends to heckle you as you try to stomp it out with your bare feet. Oh yeah, they'll like key your car, sign their name. Susan did this shit. And you're sitting like, now can I at least put her in a headlock, give her a couple of... Now I feel bad for women that you never get to feel that. You guys should do it to each other, you know? Just every once in a while. Just haul off and just blast one of your friends in the face, you know? It's good for you. No, I know, yeah, I know. It hurts, you know, you can't feel your nose, your ears are ringing, but I'm telling you, man, it clears your head. And it causes you to, like, evaluate yourself. I swear to God, anytime I ever got punched in the face, I was always pissed. But at some point during the drive home, I'd always be thinking, like, you know, I was kind of being a dick back there, you know? And I really think about it, I probably shouldn't have said that last shit, you know? And you like, make that adjustment. This guy's an asshole. I can't believe he's just going to say this kind of... Actually, my girl punched me in the head on Valentine's Day a few years ago. Yeah, you want to hear this story? This is a great one. This is how much of a dick I am, that I can actually tell a girl I love her, give her a card, and somehow at the end of the night, she still blasted me in the head, you know? I can't even remember what happened. All I know is she said some shit, then I said some stuff, then she said some more stuff, and I said, fuck it, I'm going for big air. I said the last shit, and next thing you know, she just came flying at me, right? Fist balled up. Okay, and at first she was just hitting me all in here, you know, which is acceptable, right? It's a holiday, let's fucking keep it nice, you know? Let's keep it nice, right? And I gotta admit, I was blocking most of it at first, right? I was doing the rope-a-dope. I was leaning back, I was pulling her head in, I was leaning on her, talking shit, trying to tire her out, right? And then all of a sudden, she just went up top, fucking wham, and hit me right in the side of the head. You know what hurt the most was not that she hit me, was that after she hit me, she didn't have the decency to hop back, like maybe something was gonna happen. She knew nothing was gonna happen. It's against the rules. So not only did she get to blast me in the head, she then got to do like this UFC talking shit thing in my face, pointing. Oh, it was brutal. Then she started like breaking up some stuff, you know, of course it was all my stuff, and I'm just standing there, okay, don't look her in the eye, stand as still as you can, let her calm down. Oh, that's great, that's something mine from high school. That meant a lot to me. Evidently not to you. It's funny, if I was doing that shit, I'd have a cop with his knee in my back, but evidently you have a vagina, so that makes it okay. I just have to stand here as you break all my shit.